Hi guys, make sure you stay to the end of this video because I have a very important thing for you guys to vote on. I need to know which of the books I'm gonna mention in this video that you think I should be reading next. So stay tuned, let me know which of these books I should be reading in the near future. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tori. Today I am doing the intimidating TBR tag. I was tagged by Cozy Reader Kelly. I will drop her channel down in the comments below. She does some fantastic reviews of especially middle grade and YA recently, and she's an awesome person, so you should go check her out. Okay, so we're going to be talking about my TBR pile, which, as most of you probably know, is quite expansive. Question number 1, a book on your TBR pile that you haven't finished. All of them. I had a really hard time not taking these questions super literally. I haven't finished any of the books on my TBR pile, that's why it's a TBR pile. But I took that to mean a book that I started but haven't finished yet, so I haven't officially read the whole thing. I will be showcasing The Beast Player by Nahoko Yuhashi. This is a Japanese translation of a story about a girl who can control / talk to like animals and things, and it sounds like basically a Studio Ghibli film made into a book. It was right before I hit a reading slump earlier on this year, and it just wasn't the right timing. It's a beautifully written book. I'm really excited to read it again. It just wasn't the right timing, so I'm looking forward to jumping back into it. Question number 2, a book you haven't had time to read. I have had a fair amount of time to read lately. It's more a question of motivation. So I decided to look for a book on my TBR shelf that just is the most intimidating time commitment. So I ended up choosing Brent Weeks's Lightbringer series, starting with The Black Prism. These are some honker books, and I have the first 2. And as you can see, they are both quite chunky. So this, I think it has 6 books in it, 5 or 6 books. So for an author that I've never read and a series that is full of giant books, and there's quite a few of them, I just haven't felt like I wanted to commit the time to really delve into this series yet. I promise it's coming. I do really want to read these, but it's a chunk. Number 3, a book you haven't read because it's a sequel. This was a very easy pick for me. I went with Firefight by Brandon Sanderson, who, if you don't already know this, is one of my favorite authors. However, I read Steelheart, which was the first book in this Reckoner's trilogy, and I was not super impressed. It's very strange. I don't know how to feel about it. Once you haven't loved the first book in a series, it's really hard to keep going. Number 4, a book that you haven't read because it's brand new. Okay, I don't really have a problem reading brand new books. I love kind of being the first person to read them and give them some love, so I don't have any issue with that. However, I did purchase a couple of books recently that are going to be very hard for me to break into, and that is these absolutely gorgeous UK editions of the Mistborn 5 and 6 books. They're beautiful, they're paperback. I'm terrified. Why does it make a difference? Why do we care about this? Why do we make such a fuss over certain editions of the books? I really don't understand it, but I totally get it because I do it too. So these particular editions, I'm going to be reading them very carefully. Number 5, a book by an author that I read previously but didn't like. Okay, this was a tough one because typically when I read an author I really dislike, I don't read them again. Now, that being said, I was able to find somebody on my TBR shelf that I want to give a second chance. Not necessarily because I didn't like the first book, but it just wasn't my favorite. It was okay, it was fine, but I wasn't in love with it. The book that I read was A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, and I did end up picking up This Savage Song and Our Dirk Duet, which is a duology of hers that came out, I think, later on. I'm really looking forward to seeing what else she can do. I know this is a completely different story in a completely different setting, so I really want to give her another chance because I do think that she is a very talented author. Number 6, a book on my TBR pile that I'm just not in the mood to read. The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. Okay, I bought this book a while ago, and I was really excited to read it because I'd heard really good things about this. Oh my gosh, the prose is amazing, and oh my gosh, this is such an incredible series, even though he's never gonna finish it. I'm just not really in the mood to read this because not only has he strung out the series for so long, even if I do love this, I know that I will probably never read the ending. And second of all, there's been some things with Patrick Rothfuss that make me less inclined to want to read his work. So honestly, this is one of the books that's probably going to sit on my TBR shelf forever, but that's just how it is. Number 7, a book on my TBR shelf that I haven't read because it's enormous. And this was another obvious choice for me, Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, which I do really want to read and I'm excited about it, but like, look at this thing. It is a literal brick, and I just haven't gotten to a point where I really desperately wanted to commit to this. It's not been one of those things where I'm like, yeah, today's the day. Number 8, a book that I bought specifically for the cover. These are a pair of YA books that I bought quite a long time ago from Bookoutlet, and by quite a long time ago, I mean a couple of months, honestly. I have no idea if these are gonna be any good. They're YA fantasy, so honestly, who knows? I'm being optimistic, guys, okay? I'm really hoping that these are as beautiful on the inside as they are on the outside. Number 9, the book on my TBR list that I find the most intimidating. Now, out of all of the giant books on my TBR shelf, this one is not the biggest or the most as far as page count goes, but I am definitely intimidated by it. It's going to be a great read, and I'm thrilled that it's on my TBR list because I can't wait. That is the Iliad by Homer. I'm really excited. This is a classic that I have had on my wish list forever. I finally went ahead and got a copy of it. I've read a few of the pages, and as you can see, it is long chunks of poetry prose, very classic style writing. And that doesn't necessarily turn me off, but it is just a commitment, and I'm hoping that it's gonna read well. I've read the first few pages and I was already very excited about it, so I'm looking forward to actually finishing this book and being able to say that I've read it. But yes, this one is fairly intimidating. Out of all of these books, which is the one that you would vote for me reading in the near future? Let me know down in the comments. I'm really excited to hear what you guys think. I have also tagged a few people down below to do this tag. That's all for today. I hope you guys are having a fabulous day, and I will see you in the next video.